Right, last section 2.4 video, I promise. And then we will start moving in to the 2.5 rules and identities and more things from this list here. Okay, one thing that we can do now that we know the sum and difference formulas down here at the bottom is that we can verify some of the other identities. Okay, so I know this is kind of blurry, but you'll have it in your book. But let's verify that cofunction identity up here on the top. It says sine pi over 2 minus x equals cosine x. Okay, and let's show that that's really the case. On the left side, go ahead and pause it, I guess. That would be a great idea. Expand the left side using the rules, put things together and show that it's equal to the right side. Okay, because sine of pi over 2 is equal to 1, and the cosine of pi over 2 is equal to 0, and so it says cosine x minus 0 equals cosine x, and that's really all we had to do. That one is done now. If we want to solve equations, we want to solve for x, and let's just find all of the solutions on the interval from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, when we get to the next section, we'll talk about all of the infinite number of them again, but let's just narrow it down to 0 to 2 pi and find those solutions. For the equation sine of the quantity x plus pi over 6, that thing minus sine of the quantity x minus pi over 6, that all is equal to square root of 3 over 2. Now, some students will be tempted to try to combine those two terms on the left together into a single term, and we can't correctly do that. If I have sine of 30 degrees and I want to subtract the sine of 15 degrees, those aren't like terms. There's not a way, again, a correct intuitive algebraic way that we can combine them together. So what we're going to get to do, and I'm going to say right up front, be careful with this negative sign right here, but use our sum and difference formulas there to spread all of that mess out on the left. We get to do it twice. Combine your like terms or cancel things out and look at what's left, and hopefully that looks like an equation that's very similar to the ones that we solved in the last set of videos from section 2.3. So go ahead and when you pause the video to try to do this, when you turn it back on, understand, again, I'm just going to flash the whole thing up there. All the work is going to be done. I'm not really going to, I'll talk through it, but it will all be there already. So don't turn it back on until you want to see the whole thing. Good luck. Okay, I lied. I'm going to give you that snapshot next, and then pause it again. When you come back, it'll be further. Next snapshot here, pause it again, and then I'll click the answer zone. Okay, here they are. Cosine is a positive value in quadrant 1 and quadrant 4. And so with a pi over 6 reference angle in quadrant 4, we're at 11 pi over 6. Okay, remember we can't call it negative pi over 6 or any other version of that because we were told at the beginning we only want to give answers between 0 and 2 pi. So solving equations, something else we can do now that we know the sum and difference formulas. Now on the next slide, I'm cheating. I'm going to have you guys get ready for the 2.5 stuff that we're doing. So practicing these sum and difference formulas, forgot I did that. Again, I would like for you to find for me sine of 2u, cosine of 2u, and tangent of 2u by recognizing that 2u is just u plus u. So my sum formula here, and my sum formula here, and my sum formula here. Okay, so do those three problems have them in your notes? And again, you can write 2.5 at the beginning of them if you'd like, because this is where section 2.5 is going to start.